Today we're going to take a look at a digital multimeter. This is a clamp style, which I'm really excited to use. Very handy, very easy to work with in multiple scenarios for different uses. I'm going to go ahead and unbox this thing so we can see what it looks like. Noticing right away that it comes with a very handy case that has a good quality zipper and durable material. Inside we have a couple of instruction manuals. We have the unit itself inside the packaging, and then we have looks like the needles for the different testing modes. I think we've got temperature probes. We've got a screwdriver to open the battery hatch and a 9-volt battery. All this comes with it inside. Right away I noticed as well that there is a QR code, and so I'm going to go ahead and get the app set up because this is a smart device that can connect to the app, which will help you to track your information and download it onto a device. All right, I've got the multimeter set up now. What I did is I opened up the app store and I used the QR code to download the app on my phone. So that's a great way to use the tool through Bluetooth to be able to record all of your data. There's a function on the phone where you can record start and stop, and what that's going to do is that's going to record the highest point and the lowest point and the average of whatever it is that you're reading on the screen for whatever setting you have. So this can measure voltage, current, resistance, capacitance, the hertz frequencies. You can also measure AC and DC current up to 1,000 amps. So using your phone as a way to record, you can use that as a great way to get all the measurements you need. Now, I definitely would say that if you are not familiar with how to use one of these, read through the owner's manual very thoroughly. Anytime you're working with electricity, think safety first. Make sure you've got rubber-soled shoes on. Make sure that you're turning the power off at the breaker before you are trying to test any outlets or any electrical wires. Make sure that you really know exactly what it is that you're doing with the unit for safety. A couple of safety features. These wires come pre-boxed. They actually have caps on them so that you can remove the cap. This one always goes into the far right, and this one goes into the middle. And before you're able to use them, there's a secondary safety protocol there to remove the cap. So now I have exposed metal that can record current on something. Here's one example of how you can measure current. I have the app pulled up right now so you can see on my phone what the screen is going to be reading as well. My phone will stay on for me. So I'm going to take a look at direct current voltage of this battery. It's reading 1.5 volts is what it claims to be able to have. And so I'm going to go ahead and switch this to on so you can watch my screen there, and then you can watch the screen here. Here's an example of measuring the current on a DC battery. Okay, it is at 1.606. Look at the phone screen, look at the multimeter screen, it is exactly the same. So you can see that the Bluetooth wireless connection is a great way to be able to use the phone as a way to measure and record data. Go. Here's another example now using a 12-volt battery, touching the negative to the negative and the positive terminal to the positive. And you can see I'm measuring at 12.66 volts of direct current. Okay, here's how you can measure your AC. The direct current, obviously the current only goes one way. AC means alternating current, and it goes both ways. What I did is I took a standard extension cord and I split it in half. Now I'm going to use my multimeter to show you the current. If I put this around both wires, it'll cancel itself out and you won't be able to read anything. So how this clamp works is you need to clamp over a wire that you're trying to measure the voltage. On this machine, this is a foot massager. This is a 12 volt or a 2.5 amp machine. And I chose this as a demonstration because as it's going through its cycles, you'll actually be able to see on the meter the current moving up and down. So I'm going to take the clamp, I'm going to open this up. You can see how wide that clamp opens. You can get it around a lot of different types of things. Okay, so now watch the screens, and as the foot massager goes through its cycles, you'll be able to see the current going up and down. Okay, and again, I can use the phone to start recording the data, and you can see the data points as they're entering onto the phone right there. Okay, you can see on my phone and on the multimeter, I'm going to go ahead and push and hold the button here to get the backlight on. You can see I've got the black into the left side, the red into the right side, and I'm measuring this outlet currently at 121.9 volts. And the phone screen should be doing the same, and I'm recording this at the same time, and so I'll show you what that looks like for the data points. All right. Okay, now that I'm done with that measurement, I'm going to stop, and then I'm going to look at the data. And I have data points to look at here. I can open that up, and these are the recordings of the data points that the chart collected, and I can use that wirelessly to through Bluetooth to connect to other devices to record this, or to transfer the data to any other point, to store it in a computer, or to move it to another device for calculations. Another feature is the capacitor probe. This is going to measure temperature. So I'm going to just install those right in there. And I'm going to move this over to the temperature. Right now it's reading the air temperature. And you can watch what happens when I submerge the probe into cold water. You can see that the temperature drops down relatively quickly. And the probe into warm water, temperature goes back up very quickly. Another feature, using the continuity, you can set this dial where you see the little sound insignia, or the symbol for that. You'll see the OL on the screen. You select to make sure that you're on the right setting, and to where you see the actual symbol on there. And now you can test wires to see if they are in fact making a connection. To test that, you simply touch the two tips together and you hear the buzzer activate. That shows that there is no break in any of these wires. Just to demonstrate, I will use the probe that came with, just to see if there's any breaks in there. So I'm going to touch the positive side here and then over here. Yep. It's measuring the resistance and measuring the continuity of the two wires. So if I were to touch the black to the black and touch the tip over here, we have the tone that is telling me that there is no break in the wire, that there is a connection, and then it also measures the resistance at the same time. In addition to using the probes, using the clamp, which can open up to 45 millimeters, and using this probe, you also have another way of detecting current, and that is to use the NCV, which stands for non-contact voltage. So I have an extension cord plugged in, and I'm going to go ahead and turn my backlight on by pushing and holding. Okay, so you can see EF. Now when I get this close to, this is telling me that we have a live outlet. So that's one way you can safely approach any electrical wire or outlet and see if there's anything running to it before you do anything else. This is a great meter. It has all kinds of functions. I can't find anything that, I can't think of any use that this meter does not actually do for me. And I think I can work on projects at home safely and know that this is going to give me accurate readings, especially since I can connect to my phone through Bluetooth and record the data and send that directly to my computer for to analyze it or to record it. This is just an amazing unit.